Assalamualaikum and hi. Today our group is want to talk about increase in price of house in Malaysia. Our group is Muhammad Harith, Muhammad Talha, Sulaiman, Muhammad Mirza, Logis Warren, and me Muhammad Zahid Zafran bin Muhammad Yusuf. So let's go to the introduction.
Introduction. The house is one of the most important buildings for humans to use as a home, but most Malaysians know they cannot afford to buy new land house as the average price of the new properties is nearly 48% higher than the maximum affordable house price in Malaysia. The issue of rising house price in Malaysia has been very significant. Although many types of houses are offered by developers, double price increase are quite a burden. This is concern for buyers, especially in developing areas. This problem occurs due to several factors that can have a significant impact on society and the country.
I'm going to tell about cost increase in price of the house in Malaysia. First, building material cost. The cost of construction material is highly dependent on market price time of related material. List of building material invoice: brick, wood, cement, concrete, floor and wall finish. Door, window, fitting, mechanical and electrical, air and water supply equipment are important elements. Second, the price of land. As previously stated, the price of land had the most influence impact on house price. Therefore, restriction on the use of the land would undoubtedly upset the cost of construction and ultimately the price of the complete housing. Quality of material was also found to make dominant bearing on the price of house. This was not surprise because the quality of material determines housing production costs like any other good and service in the marketplace. The third is labor. Labor is the word human resource. Human resource are divided into two general groups. They help build the project as co-worker or carpenter or brick binder, welder or driver. Human energy can be evaluated according the actual market price paid to them. Such evaluation is suitable for financial analysis. The last is equipment and machinery. The cost of machinery is calculated either through another day of hour. Some of the machinery provided are built-in, which include the cost of manufacture concrete mixer, excavator, tractor, quarry and water cooler. In addition to the above, machinery costs are also considered as maintenance costs, including diesel, management and driver or engine supervisor.
Now, I will share to everyone about impacts increase in price of house in Malaysia. There are four impacts. First impact is economic landscape. Second is impacts to society. Third is demands will decrease. And lastly is property market economics. Firstly is economic landscape. Economic landscape provide the backdrop to the wider property market. Interest rates are one area that can significantly impact property market transaction. High interest rates can reduce demand and negatively impact valuation. On the other hand, low interest rates make lending more affordable and increase the number of people able to gain the finance for investment. Also, it will impact in economy. This can contributing to the Malaysian economy. For the example, government can collect tax on the sale of the house and use that money to advance the country. Secondly is impacts to society. As we know, society life will be high. They cannot buy a house, especially to young people who just start working and want to have their own house. They cannot buy it because every year the house price goes up because quality and price of material. At the end, they only can forget it because they can afford it. Thirdly is demand will decrease. When the price of house increase, demand of house will decrease because many consumers cannot buy it. They don't have sufficient salary. Their salary just enough for their daily life. So, if they want to buy new house, they had to apply for a loan from bank to buy it. But to apply for a bank loan is very hard. The terms and conditions to apply bank loan is complicated. So, they can apply it if they fulfill the terms and conditions set out. But if they not fulfill their terms and conditions, their apply will not accepted. At the end, they just can rent a house. Lastly is property market economics. Property market economics will increase. If there is a larger supply of an item, then there are people willing to purchase it, then price will go down. While this hardly simplified summary doesn't capture the detail of market interactions, it does sum up a valuable principle for the property market. If there is a substantial excess of property of a particular type, demand for that property will be low compared to supply, and price will suffer. Supply and demand does mean that popular areas still continue to enjoy price growth, even while the broader market conditions indicate a mismatch in some sectors.
For the conclusion, the increase in housing price has become a serious issue in Malaysia. The continuous increase in housing price has resulted in many home buyers being unable to buy house. One of the factors that greatly influence the pricing consideration in the circle the developer is a features of the house structure. We have three ways for the increase in housing price in Malaysia. To solve the problem of rising housing price is difficult to control. The government needs to emphasize on the ability of consumer to buy at a certain price. In this case, the government can put ceiling price of this type specific house structure. The developer can work with the government to review the loan policy to user through review of the policy as well. The real estate developer, it can also borrow money from banks with low interest rate. For the last point, the government must provide various initiatives such as house price set in below market price, through subsidized housing or subsidized housing cost by the government with the eligibility criteria that the target can meet. Not only that, the government will also continue to monitor rising house price